So, good morning. This is Pratap Raju, lecturer in mechanical engineering. Second semester, our subject is advanced workshop technology. So, topic is foundry. So, last class we discussed about the various molding processes like ceramic molding, shell molding, cement bonded molding. Okay. Today we discussed about some special casting methods. Okay. So, special casting methods. So, like die casting and permanent mold castings. Okay. See, here we use some special castings. So there is a die casting. Okay. See, here the permanent dies are used. Here the permanent dies are used. The dice is made in two halves. The dice is made in two halves. Okay. Why these special casting methods are used? Okay. So it's normal molding, casting molding. So there's special castings are there. Why that special castings are adopted for making the casting objects? Okay, say a few advantages are there. You will see what is special casting methods. See, the sand molds are broken after casting. So in general, so that things will be happen. So we have prepared the sand by using mold. So after making the mold, so after completing of the casting, so the sand mold will be broken. Okay, so the sand molds are not used for mass production. So as usually it is only for single product. Okay, once it is made for a single, so after completing of the casting, that sand will be sand mold will be broken out. Okay, so this is not used for the mass production, means a repeated operation it is not possible by using sand molding. Okay, a special casting methods can be used for the mass production. Okay, so in order to develop the mass production, so some special casting methods can be adapted. Okay, so those are good surface finish is obtained, okay, so these are the things why that is the reason why we adapted the special casting. So the surface finish is what are the main purposes means, so the surface finish will be obtained very good, and it is used for the mass production. Okay, so generally it is no need to break the mold. Okay, so it is repeatedly we can able to use. So these are the purposes. So that is the reason why we adapted the sand special casting methods. Okay, see what are the principles involved in the die casting method. So here a molten metal is forced into the die cavity. Molten metal is forced into the die cavity. The pressure is applied. The pressure is applied by ram. The pressure is applied by ram on molten metal. The pressure is applied by ram on molten metal. So the molten metal is cooled by water cooling. The molten metal is cooled by water cooling. Okay. So the casting is ejected. The casting is ejected by ejecting pins. The casting is ejected by ejecting pins. Okay, small vents are provided at parting lines. So and the parting place we use a small vents. Vents means a small holes by using a vent rods. Okay, by using a vent rods we use to make the holes. Okay, that is called vent holes. We can call it. Okay, the air and flue gases are escapes from the vent. So why that is provided at the parting line is, so if any hard gases are present in the molten metal, so that hard gases or flue gases are escapes from that vent holes. Okay, see here we have the few applications are also there of this die casting. So where it is used means it is used for small and medium size castings. Okay, it is used for small and medium size castings. It is used for low melting point non-ferrous alloys. It is used for low melting point and non-ferrous alloys. Okay, so that is about the die casting. Okay, so here having the advantages. Okay, what are the advantages of with the die casting? Say it is large number of identical parts can be quickly produced. Large number of identical parts can be quickly produced. High finish and close dimensions. So by using this we can get the high surface finish and as well as accurate or close dimension tolerances dimensions can be obtained. Okay, so very complex shapes. Okay, so if you want to make a complex shapes, they also can able to make a complex objects. Okay, so that is advantage. Next, superior mechanical properties. Okay, superior mechanical properties. So by using this, we can get the good mechanical properties. Okay, so and thin sections are obtained. The thin sections can be obtained. So that is about the advantages of die castings. And the next as usually that is, if you have advantages, then this has also having some disadvantages. Okay, what are the disadvantages with this die casting? So generally, if the high tooling cost, the cost of the tools is high. Okay, so very high cost tooling can be get it. Okay, so metals of high melting points are suitable. Okay, metals of high melting points are suitable. So size is limited. The size is limited. No flexibility of processing. No flexibility of processing. Okay, these are the disadvantages. So disadvantages is high tooling costs. Metals of high melting points are suitable. The size is limited. So no, no flexibility of processing. Okay, these are the advantages and disadvantages. So coming to the types. Various types of die castings are there. So the first one, that is a hard chamber die casting operated by plunger. Hard chamber die casting operated by plunger. Okay. Next one is hard chamber die casting operated by compressed air. Hard chamber die casting operated by compressed air. Then third one is cold chamber die casting. Cold chamber die casting. And fourth one is vacuum die casting. Vacuum die casting. These are the four types of die castings are there. So first two are very common, and third one is a cold chamber, and last one is a vacuum die casting. See, we see the first one by one. Hard chamber die casting. Hard chamber die casting. So hard chamber die casting. So the die casting machine consisting of three major parts. So one is hard chamber, and second one is injection system, and third one is die cavity with gooseneck cylinder passage. Die cavity with gooseneck pipe is there. So that is gooseneck cylindrical passage. So here we are able to see that hard chamber die casting of figure. So here we have a gooseneck metal pipe is there. So here is there. Then here we have permanent die we used. Okay, see here the parting lines are there. The parting lines having some vent holes. Okay, the small gaps is there. Why use means, so if any hard gases are there, that will be escapes or flue gases are there. At the bottom end we have the firebox is there. So firebox, from the firebox the heat will be generated. So here the metal port is there. So from that metal will be poured. Okay, see here the air is there. So if the air is compresses, the metal will be enters into the gooseneck pipe and directly, so it goes into the dies. Okay, so once if it reaches the dies, the die will be open. So automatically the gooseneck pipe will be moves upwards. Okay, so once again if your pressure is applied, so the gooseneck will be down, the mortal metal is entered into the gooseneck pipe and that enters into the dies. So like this the process is, the operation of the cycle is repeated. Okay, so that is about the hard chamber die casting. So the chamber is hard, the name indicates. So here the die is permanent die. So here we use gooseneck pipe we used. Okay, so that we can carry the metal. See, we'll see what happened. See the molten metal is heated in the hard chamber method. Okay, molten metal is heated in hard chamber method. So the gooseneck cylinder with the ram is placed on hard chamber. So gooseneck cylinder with see gooseneck cylinder with the ram is placed in hard chamber. Okay, so another end of the gooseneck is joined by a die. See here the two ends is there. One end is connected to the ram and then other end is connected to the die. Okay, so die. So and that gooseneck will be dropped into the hard chamber cylinder. Okay, so the molten metal enters into the gooseneck cylinder through ports. Okay, so here having some few ports as there. So this is a metal port. So with that ports, the molten metal is enters. The molten metal enters into the gooseneck cylinder through ports. Okay, so when the plunger downwards, the ports are closed. Okay, the molten metal is forced into the die cavity. Okay, molten metal is forced into die cavity. So the force is applied at a pressure of 14 megapascal. Force is applied at a pressure of 14 megapascals. The cooling is done by circulating water. So the cooling is done by circulating water. So after solidification of casting is ejected. After solidification, the casting is ejected. Okay, so solidification is nothing but, so the molten metal uh, is in liquid state. Okay, so the metal is there, so the metal is heated, then the heated metal is become melted, so it will come to a liquid form. Okay, so from liquid metal is poured into the mold cavities, so after cooling, so it becomes solid. Okay, so the process of converting or changing from a liquid state to solid state is called solidification. So solidification is nothing but, so from it will come from liquid state to solid state. Okay, this process is called solidification. So after the casting is removed, the dies are closed. After casting is removed, the dies are closed, so the plunger moves again upwards. Okay, so the molten metal are again enters into the gooseneck cylinder. Molten metal is again enters into the gooseneck cylinder. The above operation is repeated in cyclic order. Okay, so that is hard chamber die casting. So nothing is there, only the thing is here hard chamber is there. So hard chamber, by using hard chamber method, so the metal is melted. Okay, so it will come to liquid form, so that is called liquid metals in the chamber. Okay, so here the gooseneck pipe having both ends. One end is connected to the ram, another end is connected to the die. Okay, once the air is pressed, okay, so the plunger moves downwards. The pores, gooseneck contains the pores, that pores are closed. Okay, that molten metal contained in the gooseneck, that will be enters into the die. Okay, permanent by. Okay, so after that what happens, so the pipe will move upwards. Okay, once the gooseneck is moved upwards, so the ports are open, the molten metal or liquid is enters into it. Okay, so once the pressure is applied from the ram by on the gooseneck, so it will move downwards, the ports are closed, again the metal is enters into the dies. Okay, so like that the cycle is repeated. So once the metal is entered into die, so it will be solidification by using a cooled water. Okay, so by using a cold water, so the metal is solidified, so then become a solid state. Okay, so then the casting is becoming, it forms a casting, so that casting can be removed. So like this the cycle the cycle is repeated. This is about hard chamber die casting. Okay, so next one is air operated die casting. Okay, air operated die casting. See, the molten metal is forced by air. The molten metal is forced by air. The air pressure is about 4.2 megapascals. Air pressure is about 4.2 megapascals. The gooseneck is lower. The gooseneck is lower. The molten metal enters into the gooseneck. Okay, molten metal enters into the gooseneck. It is raised up. Okay, it is raised up. The compressed air is blown. The compressed air is blown. The molten metal passes into the die cavity. Molten metal passes into the die cavity. So here it is air operated die casting. It is okay. It is air operated die casting. So air operated die casting. After solidification, the casting is ejected. After solidification, the casting is ejected. Low melting alloys like lead and tin are casted. Low melting alloys like lead and tins are casted. And next one is vacuum die casting. Okay, so vacuum die casting, say it is similar to the hot chamber die casting. The air is evacuated. The air is evacuated from die cavity. Okay, so it is similar to the hot chamber die casting. The air is evacuated from the die. Okay, this prevents the blowholes and other defects. Okay, only the similar thing is just like a hot chamber die casting, but a few points is there. Just the air is evacuated. Okay, from the die cavity. Okay, so that what happens, the blowholes and other defects will be minimized by using this vacuum method. Okay, and then next one is a cold chamber die casting. So hot chamber die casting, this is a ram type, and next one is plunger type, then vacuum die casting, then last one is cold chamber die casting. Okay, See, the metal is separated from the furnace. Metal is separated from separate furnace. So metal is melted in separate furnace. Okay, so the molten metal is poured by ladle into the cylinder. Okay, so the pressure is applied by plunger. The pressure is applied by plunger. The molten metal is forced into the die. Molten metal is forced into the die. When the casting solidifies, casting solidifies, the die is open. When the casting is solidifies, the die is open. The casting is removed by ejecting pins. Casting is removed by ejecting pins. This process requires high temperature for melting. It requires high pressure. It requires high pressure. See the cold chamber die casting. The metal is melted in a separate furnace. Okay, separate furnace is there in the furnace. So the metal is melted. Okay, so that melted metal is poured by ladle into the cylinder. Okay, so we can take the ladle called crucible or something. Okay, with that we will pour the metal into cylinder. Okay, so a pressure is applied by a plunger. Once the force will be applied on the applied by the plunger. Okay, the metal is forced into the die. See here, we see able to the figure. See, see here, the liquid metal is there. The liquid metal is poured here. Okay, so once here the mold cavity is there, it is a fixed pattern. This is a moving pattern. Okay, so here the injection piston is there. So here the die is there. Once the metal is liquid, so when enter, that will be the forced. Okay, the casting solidifies and the die is open. The casting solidifies and the die is open. Okay, so casting solidify automatically the die is open. The casting is removed by ejecting pins. See here separate pins are there to remove the casting from the mold. Okay, to remove the casting from a mold, that is called that we can call as a ejecting pin. So we can eject the casting from the mold. Okay, so this process requires a high temperature for melting. This process requires high temperature for melting. It requires high pressure. It requires very high pressure. It requires high pressure. This process requires high temperature for melting. Okay, and this requires high pressure, so it requires both the things. Temperature is also required and as well as pressure is also required. See here we are able to see the figure. So here we have moving plate, mold cavity and die is there. Okay, see metal is there, metal force by using piston, so you can force it. Okay, so once force that will enter into die. So after solidification the mold cavity, the die is opened by using a ejecting pins. Okay, a permanent mold called dry gravity die casting. Okay, permanent mold called gravity die casting. Okay, a permanent molds are two halves. Okay, permanent molds are two halves. These molds are made up of cast iron or other materials. These molds are made up of cast iron or other metals. The molds are coated with refractory material. The molds are coated with refractory materials. Okay, the molten metal is poured by ladle. Molten metal is poured by ladle. Okay, so the molten metal is filled into the die by gravity. See, so the molten metal is poured by ladle. Okay, so the molten metal is filled into the by die by gravity. Okay, after solidification, the casting is ejected. After solidification, the casting is ejected. Okay, see here. So that is a permanent mold casting. So it has a two halves. Okay, so with about the gates. Okay, so sprue is there, gate is there. Okay, so the metal core is there. Okay, so clamp. Okay, so vertical lines is sprue from the sprue the molten metal is poured. Okay, so this once the molten metal is entered. Okay, so with the help of gates, gate is nothing but the molten metal is entry into the mold cavity. Okay, so it is a, you can call as a channel. Okay, so it is entry stage. So that molten metal is enters into the mold cavity. Okay, so that mold cavity is filled. Okay, so permanent die casting is superior to the sand casting. Permanent die casting is superior to sand casting. Okay, a better dimensional accuracy. A better dimensional accuracy we can get it. It is used for aluminum and copper alloys. It is used for aluminum and copper alloys. It is also used for small sized iron and steel casting. It is also used for small sized iron and steel casting. So it is also used for small sized iron and steel castings. Okay, that is about the permanent mold cavity. Okay, so it is generally used for aluminum and copper alloys. It is also used for small sized irons and steel casting. So today we discussed about the die casting and its types. Okay, so here we are having the four methods. Okay, that four methods also discussed. Okay, so tomorrow we have another special casting methods, that is CO2 process. Okay, and other leftover processes. Okay, so thank you.